Hey guys, welcome back to the Rosie Review. I just wanted to come on here and do a little bit of an informal comment on the news of O.J. Simpson's death at the age of 76 just this past week. He died of prostate cancer, apparently. I don't remember hearing or seeing that he had cancer in the news. I don't know. This guy... There's been a lot of shifty things about this guy over the years, one of which is what this episode is about, and that is his fees that are still due to the victims of the murders of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown. He still owes these families over $100 million, and that is originally from a civil lawsuit that was won on behalf of these families. He owed them over $33 million at that time. And now it's come out that over time it has accrued with interest and it's over $100 million. He owes these people. Now, does this come out of his estate? Is his estate protected? Do these families just get nothing? I just don't feel like there's any sort of justice in any of this. And it's heartbreaking. So let's just do a little review on just a slight touch on the background of O.J. Simpson, but mostly to do with his life, his case after the trial. NBC Los Angeles Times reported a timeline of key events in the life of O.J. Simpson. July 9th, 1947, Orenthal James Simpson is born in San Francisco. He grew up in public housing in the Portero Hill neighborhood. 1967, leads all college running backs in rushing in his first season at the University of Southern California. 1968, wins the Heisman Trophy, college football's top honor. 1969, picked first in the pro draft, he spends the next 9 seasons with the Buffalo Bills. 1973, becomes the first NFL player to rush for 2,000 or more yards in a season. 79, retires having rushed for 11,236 yards, second most in NFL history at the time. 85, inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 88, after appearing in TV shows and commercials since the late 1960s, co-stars in the first of the Naked Gun crime comedies, perhaps his most popular role. 92, Nicole Brown Simpson files for divorce after 7 years of marriage. It becomes final October 15th. June 12, 1994, Nicole Simpson and a friend, Ronald Goldman, are stabbed to death outside her Los Angeles home. June 17, 1994, ordered to surrender, Simpson flees instead in a white Ford Bronco, leading police on a nationally televised slow-speed chase across California freeways. June 1995, during the murder trial, a prosecutor asks him to put on a pair of gloves believed worn by the killer. They appear too small, and defense attorney Johnny Cochran tells jurors, if it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Our top story here at 5:30 this afternoon.
We will bring it to you just as soon as it does happen.
Truly a once-in-a-lifetime honor.
Mr. Simpson is a fugitive of justice. We took what pictures we could through the rearview mirror, and of course all you see in those pictures is A.C. Cowlings at the wheel with O.J. in back. And so Cowlings, who was driving, was obviously trying to communicate to the police through his cell phone and through hand gestures that he wasn't trying to evade them. He was just on his way somewhere, and he was not going to be deterred.
Okay, but you gotta tell the police to just back off. He's still alive, but he got a gun to his head.
At that point, I thought, this is risky for us. It's obviously risky for the police and for A.C. Cowlings and O.J. Simpson. I don't want to become part of the story. At that point, I decided, okay, we will let them pass. It was a matter of not wanting to make the situation any worse than it already was.
We will cover this. We will report to you but we will do everything we can. We will ensure the fact that we are not going to affect the outcome of this in any way.
That was our concern. Chronicle what we can, but don't change the course of history by getting involved in the story. I realized this is it's a cultural moment, and that's what this turned out to be. It involved race, it involved celebrity, it involved wealth.
October 3rd, 1995, Simpson is acquitted. February 1997, the jury hearing a civil suit finds Simpson liable for the deaths and orders him to pay the victims' families $33.5 million. July 2007, a federal bankruptcy judge awards to Goldman's family the rights to a book written as a first-person account in which Simpson discusses how he could have committed the murders. The family renames the book If, in parentheses, I Did It, Confessions of the Killer. Executor named in O.J. Simpson's will says he'll do everything to ensure Goldman family gets zero from the estate. Simpson's will was filed in Clark County, Nevada on April 12th, 2 days after his death. Simpson's will, filed by Cassidy Law Offices this week, was signed by the controversial figure on January 24th, per the 8th Judicial Court Portal's website. In the full-length document, Simpson's longtime lawyer, Malcolm Laverne, was named as the executor of his estate, with Simpson's son, Justin Simpson, being named as his successor. Simpson requested his property be placed into the Orenthal-Simpson Revocable Living Trust and also signed that his last wishes for his remains would be attached to the will itself. The will reads that it would be administered as set forth herein without litigation or dispute of any kind, and that if a beneficiary, heir, or any other person seeks to set aside the administration of this will, have this will declared null, void, or diminished, or to defeat any change on any part of the provisions of this will, that they'd receive free of trust $1 and no more in lieu of any claimed interest in this will or its assets. Laverne, who the Las Vegas Review-Journal notes has represented Simpson since 2009, told the outlet that he does not want the family of Ron Goldman to acquire money from the estate. It's my hope that the Goldmans get zero, nothing, Laverne said, them specifically, and I will do everything in my capacity as the executor or personal representative to try and ensure that they get nothing. Laverne cited the events surrounding Simpson's controversial book, If I Did It, in which the family secured the rights and later issued a revised edition featuring additional commentary. An attorney for Goldman's father said Simpson, who was famously acquitted of murdering Goldman and Nicole Brown, owed the family more than $100 million. Decades after Simpson was ordered to pay the Goldman and Brown families $33.5 million in a 1997 wrongful death lawsuit, lawyer David Cook told People the family has not seen the money, which he said has since grown due to interest. He died without penance, Cook said of Simpson. He did not want to give a dime, a nickel to Fred Goldman. Never, anything, never. Simpson's executor has now told the Review-Journal that there was never a court order forcing Simpson to pay the civil judgment and that he can't make a prediction right now as to what the value of this estate is. Laverne added he was flummoxed as to why he would name me as the personal representative or the executor. And it's something I'm going to take very seriously, he said. Laverne also told the outlet that Simpson would be cremated in the coming days and that arrangements for a funeral service have yet to be finalized. In only a matter of a couple days now, it looks like Laverne, Simpson's representative, is now backtracking on what he currently stated about the family and what Simpson will owe or not owe to them. The Hollywood Reporter says O.J. Simpson's lawyer reverses opinion on payments to Goldman family. I'm going to be hyper-transparent, Malcolm Laverne told THR while discussing his earlier remarks about money going to the families of murder victims Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown. I'm not going to call her Simpson. She divorced his ass. O.J. Simpson's longtime attorney, who was named executor of the former NFL star's will ahead of his death last week, has said he will ensure that any claim the parents of Ron Goldman make to retrieve the millions they were awarded in a 1998 civil judgment against the accused killer will be accepted by the estate. Attorney Malcolm Laverne, who represented Simpson from 2009 until the former running back's death on April 10th after a battle with prostate cancer, said he wants to walk back statements made last week while speaking by phone with The Hollywood Reporter on Monday afternoon. Laverne had previously told the Las Vegas Review-Journal that he'd fight to prevent a payout of the $33.5 million judgment awarded to the families of Simpson's ex-wife, Nicole Brown, and her friend Ron Goldman. He said he specifically wanted Fred Goldman, who is Ron Goldman's father, to receive nothing of Simpson's estate. I can tell you in advance, Fred Goldman's claim will be accepted, and his claim will be handled in accordance with Nevada law, Laverne told THR, admitting that his earlier remarks were not in response to Fred Goldman, who has been relentless in his pursuit of justice for his son since the 1997 civil trial verdict, but toward his attorneys. Within an hour of knowing that OJ died, he started talking. My advocate instinct was, oh, you're gonna keep on him even after he's dead? He said, fine, you get nothing. And so those were my remarks then. But I backtracked and they were pretty harsh remarks. And now I'm going in the other direction. In 2022, Fred Goldman told THR that he has not seen any money from Simpson in relation to the judgment in the 1997 civil trial verdict, the total of which he said is raised by 10% each year. It's a ridiculous number, none of which has ever appeared, Goldman said. Simpson never paid one single penny. Anything that we were able to take was through our own efforts of taking things away from him. The tens of millions owed to the Goldmans and Browns have a judgment lien and are secured debt, which will be paid prior to those two creditors of Simpson holding unsecured debt. Whatever ends up happening with the estate and the money, I believe that Nicole Brown was just a simple young girl who believed she thought she had met her Prince Charming, who in fact turned out to be a monster who killed both her and a nice young man who was just returning a pair of glasses.